coming from two different locations, actually. The first person I'll introduce is Ximena and Muillo. Serves as the CEO of United4Change Center for International Development and Global Citizenship. Provides leadership and strategic vision for the innovative work supported by the organization. She has long been devoted to fighting social injustice, inequity, and gender-based violence and extreme poverty. And then the second person is coming. So Ximena is down in Houston, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. And then Elizabeth, and I'm going to butcher your last name, but Ngere, is the founder of Women Arise for Positive Change and serves as the organization's president, as well as serving on the board of that organization. She is a social entrepreneur and a health counselor with special emphasis on matters arising out of and related to HIV and AIDS. And Elizabeth will tell us a little bit more about where she's coming from, but she is coming to us all the way from Africa today. So big continent. It is a big continent, and she will explain exactly where she's at. So when she introduces herself that way. So they're here to talk to us a little bit about United4Change, and I will turn it over to Ximena to kick this off. Ximena, it's up. The floor is yours. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan. Please remind me how long we have for the presentation.
Till 1:15.
1:15. Okay, great. Well, thank you, everybody. And thank you, first of all, Lynn, for connecting us with you and all the club. Thank you so much. We're Rotary Peace Fellows, by the way, Elizabeth and myself. And we're so thrilled when we saw this young person receiving support from you all, from Rotary, because that makes a huge impact. And you will see that we're going to talk about this amazing project, but also the impact that you've made by supporting Rotary Peace Fellows around the world. We had, like, besides us, our colleagues and friends, over 10 other Rotary Peace Fellows who helped putting this together. So it's just, it's amazing. Thank you. So we're going to present this. We're going to try to do it really quick because we want you to enjoy listening from Elizabeth, but also watching a video of the graduation day and the celebration that really tells the whole story. And we wanted to share that with you. So we're going to start with telling you that, you know, we've been blessed to have this project going on. It was a journey for many, many years. And thanks to Rotary and the two cooperating organizations, United4Change and Women Arise for Positive Change, here with us, Elizabeth. And this basically was, we named the program Elijah Jr. and Leah Oma. It has a lot of meaning. It means a lot to us, the two names, and then we can go explaining that later. But most important was addressing one of the most terrible challenges that countries in Africa face today, and that's like the gender-based violence. And because, you know, you're familiar with the priority impact areas that Rotary supports, one of them is peace, of course, peace and conflict resolution, and they also make emphasis in positive peace. So that's the project about, and you will see the impact that it had in so many people. So just a little bit of an overview of the journey that started in 2018. So just to tell you how complicated and complex has been to put this together as a global grant. And this started with when me and Elizabeth and myself, we met in Thailand as Rotary Peace Fellows, because we had so much in common, and it really made sense to do something in Kenya together, work together in specifically in Kisumu, where she's from. I had a similar experience working in Bolivia. I'm originally from Bolivia, and the organization with that project in the United States. So it really made sense to work together for women, especially those who are affected and infected with HIV. So the project is about empowerment, women empowerment. Of course, it has a strong element of economic empowerment to create those elements for positive peace. And that happened 2018. Then we did all the fundraising, the process, and then COVID came. So there was a little bit of a challenge to bring everything together and find the right supporters, the Rotary clubs that wanted to be involved in the project. And then we were able to implement the project, even though we had so many challenges. And 2022 was very busy for us, especially for Elizabeth and her team. And we were blessed to be able to go to Kenya, to Kisumu, for the graduation day at the end of 2022. This year, we are working with almost 20 small businesses. We call them biashara in Swahili, in their language. And we are just in the road of following up with them. Most of them have already bank accounts. They started their small businesses, but most important, they are taking advantage of that network, that support network that they built, in order to. So this is a photo that after we took after seeing each other for after 5 years in Kisumu, and this is just to show you the power of partnerships and friendships that make this worthwhile. So let me tell you a little bit about the problem that we are addressing. Of course, that HIV is a big problem in this country, especially in Kenya. And just to give you an example here of the global HIV prevalence, people that are infected with HIV compared to the global prevalence, Kenya is 4.5%. So that tells you that the problem is still huge, even though there are so many other global issues happening now, humanitarian issues. This problem is systemic and is something that we have to look at. And of course, women are the ones that are more affected, and then of course they suffer the violence, and is associated with poverty, high levels of extreme poverty. Liz is gonna talk a little bit about some of the stories of transformation, and we hear a lot about commercial sex work and abuse of women. There are a lot of orphans that are big victims of this situation. Of course, stigma and discrimination, conflict and insecurity in the slums of Kisumu City. And just to tell you that gender-based violence is one of the most continuous violations of human rights. So we have to do something about it. And this project was the beginning, I think, to transform many lives in Kisumu, in the slums of Kisumu City. Just a beautiful, beautiful place. We really enjoyed knowing the city and knowing the beauty, all the things that it offers. But at the same time, it was just heartbreaking to see that there are still issues in terms of HIV and violence against women. I will go, I don't want to go in detail about, the elements of positive peace. That's something that, we're trained on. And whenever you like, there are some people who are specialized activators, positive peace activators that can provide training for you in terms of what are the elements to make a place with peace, with lasting peace. So these are some elements that we consider in the design of the project. The objectives were, to train 20 women leaders in conflict and resolution skills and other soft skills. Because we believe in leadership, and if you really empower leaders, there will be more probabilities of success in the project and sustainability. The objective was 100 women in 3 slums of Kisumu, and based on one of the most successful empowerment programs, I'm sorry, called Imagine, that Lizzie is certified, and her organization, or like, it covers a lot of elements to empower women from within themselves, and then be empowered also, to help their communities. The training for micro entrepreneurship and financial planning was included because of those elements of positive peace as well, and the creation of 20 self-help groups that are successfully connected. They're helping each other. They became friends, and then they help each other in everyday life. So those were the objectives at the beginning, and then we're going to see the impact. And I already told you about the challenges that we had with COVID. We have many other challenges at a local, national, and international level, and a lot of uncertainty in focusing on the project. We have, some fundraising delays, and so many other economic and political instability. There were like many large number of clubs that we had to connect with and ask for support, but thank God, it was successful. And with that, we kept going and going, and that was the success of the material and the training and everything that we got that supported this project. As I told you before, we had like more than 10 Rotary Peace Fellows, peace activators from different countries coming together. We were meeting every week to work together on the material and the content. And I'm going to go a little bit faster with some of the most amazing photos. We have so much material to show you, but these are some of the examples that, the ladies, regardless COVID, and, with all the precautions, of course, but with all the challenges that are facing, they kept going to classes and eager to learn, eager to do better, and despite of all their conditions. So you can see here that, how they are studying and working together to learn more. And Liz is going to tell you a little bit more about the transformation again. And as I was telling you, we had our objective was 100, but we had 175 women who registered to the program. And today we also have 170 people on the waiting list. So just to tell you how successful this was. But we're only able to accept 120 women who actually enrolled into the program with 97.5% retention. That is like really rare to see in one program, from my own experience in the past in other countries. And talking about, leadership and peace building, we were able to train 20 leaders, and they were all very, very bright. They were selected because of their experience working with the community. That way we could retain more, and the retention for that leadership program was 100%, all of them coming to the classes. And the result was 140 women who graduated from these 3 slums of Kisumu, and who are empowered, or keep being connected and leading their own businesses. Now I'm gonna give the microphone to Lizzie, to Elizabeth, so she can explain more about the program and the impact of it.
Thank you very much, Hime. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to just let you know what we've been doing after you guys sponsoring us to go for the Rotary Peace Fellowship. I would like also to appreciate Lynn, who supported me a lot when I was applying for my scholarship. She was my mentor. She followed up on everything, and somehow I was giving up and she kept pushing me. So I just want to thank Lynn for that. So just as you are told, I'm Elizabeth. I come from Kenya. Kenya is a country in Africa, around the Horn of Africa. We are just bordering Indian Ocean on on the east, and Ethiopia is just above on the north. And Tanzania is just below on the southwest. So, and I come from a city called Kisumu. It's the third largest city in Kenya. So maybe if you've been to Africa, you may have a little picture of where I come from. So just as you are told, I lead, I'm a Peace Fellow, and I work with Women Arise organization. Maybe to just let you know, Women Arise exists just to embrace and equip people to live a life beyond gender-based violence and AIDS. Our model is unique. We search for clients and find them in their greatest point of need. So maybe somebody may ask, why women? So in my community, wife inheritance is a cultural practice, and this is a form of gender-based violence. And it's also the highest means of transmission of HIV and AIDS. There's also sex for fish. The economic activity in my area or in my community is fishing. So you'll find most of the time when women go for trades, fish trade, the fishermen will ask for sex in exchange of fish. So this also promotes gender-based violence and violence against human. And this is also a big cause of HIV spread and new infections in my community in Kisumu. So this is why I thought, why not do something about this? Just as Ximena said, after we met and networked, we had a global grant that was supported with the Hobbs Club, as the international club, and Kisumu Central as the local club. So maybe I'll talk a little about how we work. Before I do that, maybe I just want to let you know that most of the women living with HIV in my community were infected through sexual violence, yet they are stigmatized with the community without any consideration. In sub-Saharan Africa, HIV and AIDS has historically been considered a death sentence. Although medication is available globally, the stigma surrounding the disease prevents people from accessing life-saving care. Stigma also cuts people off from once thriving communities, leaving hundreds of thousands of men and women lonely, vulnerable, and spiritually devastated. So when we were designing this program, all this was in our mind. So this is how we work. We work with the communities in Kisumu as at now. Now concerning the global grant, we worked with 3 communities, slums, that is Nyamasaria, Nyalenda, and Manyata. We always have a center at the heart of the community. Just as Ximena said, he had given the numbers of the women who enrolled and who were able to be taken in. That shows the need that is on the ground. So what we do, we enroll the ladies in the center for a 7-month process. 20 leaders get trained who will help to form and lead 20 self-help groups that eventually get formed after the 7-month process. Throughout the 7 months, we work to equip clients physically, emotionally, spiritually, and economically. So on the physical wellness, the health trainers reviews properly drug adherence, hygiene, and nutrition with each client weekly. Clients also are provided with the supplemental weekly food portions to help feed their families. And in addition to this, one group training session was done on gender perspective on HIV and AIDS. On the spiritual hope, gospel was always shared at the beginning of every training session. The greatest way to overcome stigma is through spiritual hope. That's why we share our Christian faith with all clients who want to know more about that. On the emotional piece, Through one-on-one counseling and home visits, the trainers addressed the issues of self-stigma throughout the program. This led to each client being equipped towards healthy expressions. In addition to the clients, the clients attended a weekly training scheduled 3 times a month for 4 months on emotional peace. On the economic stability, 3 times a month for 2 months, clients attended a group economic empowerment seminar. These seminars varied from financial literacy to practical skills like soap making. This program had a very great impact in my community. So maybe Ximena have talked a lot about the impact, but maybe I'll just talk a little of a few that she has not touched on. When we were recruiting, we had 9 clients who were bedridden and could not walk to the center for our services. By the time we were finishing our program, there were 7 of them had recovered and were able to come for the services without any support. There was also an improvement of drug adherence and proper hygiene by almost 95%. 19 out of 23 clients who were malnourished gained their normal weight and health. On the spiritual and emotional healing, we had 20 self-help groups being formed successfully and now acts as agents of change in their communities. The clients made friends within themselves and felt loved and accepted. On their economic stability, 4 months into the program, the groups were able to make homemade liquid soaps and sell. And from their sales, they were able to do their savings and provide for themselves and their families. Every self-group had a clear business plan laid down and ready for implementation by the time when we were closing down. So maybe I'll just give you one story of one of the ladies that we had in the program. This is called Grace. She's 25 years old. She's a single parent with 5 children. At the age of 12, Grace was already helping her mother in the business of brewing liquor and serving customers who came to drink. Apparently, she also started drinking the liquor at 14 years old. She got raped when she was drunk with one of our mother's customers, and she got pregnant. When she went for the antenatal clinic, she was tested HIV positive. Because she was still very young, it did not really hit her much. She did not understand the implication this could bring into her life. She gave birth to her firstborn, and at 16 years, her mother died of HIV too. Being the firstborn in a single parent family, she had to take care of the rest of her siblings. She decided to continue with her mother's business, which did not go well because she did not know how to manage it. In Luo community, women do not inherit land. Her uncles so then sent them away from her mother's home. So she came to the city here in Kisumu with her siblings to fend for them. Men took advantage of her disparate situation, and she got married to a man who was 30 years above her age. The man agreed to take care of her and her siblings. The problem is that this man was also a drunk and could beat her up every day he comes home. And despite of all, she continued giving birth to her children, because this is why the reason why she got married to this man. All her siblings decided to move to the street to become street children because they could not take it anymore. When we were enrolling our clients into the program, she showed up drunk, brought hand in hand with her daughter. She heard about the program at a patient support center where she collects her drugs. She started crying and not uttering a word for 30 minutes, emotionally drained, and she looked malnourished. Her daughter told us that her mother skips her drugs every time she gets drunk and does not eat. She says she wants to die. We enrolled her into the program and began the journey with her, with a lot of patience and love. Now, after 7 months into the program, Grace could afford a smile. She could sing, dance, and laugh with other fellow clients. The first 3 months in the program, she was always quiet and isolated when she comes to the center for our services. After 7 months, Grace stopped drinking after a series of counseling sessions and home visits with our trainers. She could not take her drugs. She could now take her drugs on time. After attending the economic empowerment training, she realized she is able. She can be stable economically and be independent without relying on her husband for everything. This gave her a sense of freedom. Now, on our graduation day, these were the words from Grace. Until I joined this program, I never knew that I got self-worth and great potential beyond measure. I feel confident in my abilities. That was Grace speaking. Maybe I will give a few quotes of a few of our clients whom we had in the program too on their graduation day. Lillian Ogilo said that before I joined this program, I had no hope for the future because of the stigma I was undergoing due to my status. But now I feel fully equipped and ready to live boldly the untold story of my future. Then Millicent said, we are embraced so much here, such that we feel free to tell the stories of our past and hope for the better future. Rachel said, I used to water the weeds rather than watering the seeds in my life. But now I'm willing to dream boldly and reach for my highest visions. Then Catherine said, my support group is my support system for personal growth. Then maybe the last one, Tina said, I believe I have what it takes to be successful in life. These were the words of the women who were once hopeless and wanted to die. This is the impact that this program has created. Thank you for giving us an opportunity. And I know together we can still do much. Thank you. Back to you, Hime.
Thank you so much, Lizzie. So now we're going to share this. We don't have too much time left. So we want to share this with you and with that story just to tell you thank you for your support. I know that Lynn, especially Lynn, whose club has been involved in this project, we still need your help with anything that we all can for this project. So let me share the audio as well.
Front of you is Tina Akinyi, ready to present for you a spoken word. And it is written by me. Women arise for positive change. It came along with good topic. 1. Personal growth. 2. Personal power, emotion, and relationship. 3. Sexuality and the mood. 4. Money. 5. Keeping heart. Keeping certain heart. Depression will come. Do not mind what they say about you. Love yourself. Mirror it in what So you have human strength as a woman. Yes, we can overcome it. Biashara tunauza Ximena. Don't deceive. We know our rights as women. Those were the three ones. Jericho, Judea, Bethlehem, Israel, and the unique olive. Elizabeth, Elijah, Patricia, Joy, Isaac. Thank you all making us know all of you. We thank you so much, Ximena and Elizabeth. I can't say thank you enough because I was precious. Biashara naleta fursa. I'm going to start my own business. Women arise for positive change. Wapsi.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate this opportunity to all of you. And well, we have the information of the website and ways that you can support these groups. I know that we're running out of time, but if you have questions, then I don't know if the audience have some questions, comments.
Any questions? Does anybody have? Group? Not at the moment, so I guess we're.
Dan.
Oh, hi, Lynn. We're not gonna get past you.
I just wanted to say one quick thing about Elizabeth that I thought was so fun. She had never been on an airplane until she went to Thailand. And it was like her whole family and the whole community thought this was just one of the greatest things. So I thought that was a fun story.
Good to see you, Lynn. You're looking a little tanner than you are normally when you're up here, so. Okay. Well, Elizabeth and Ximena, thank you very much for your presentation today. We appreciate you joining us. For all of our speakers, we make a contribution to Rotary's International End Polio Plus Fund. We'll do that in your name as well. Next week, we have comedian Pat Dwyer will be here to do his talk on "You're Doing Awesome, Just Know That." So other than he's a comedian and that Adam got him, I don't know a lot about it, but it sounds interesting. So I hope you all can be here. Thank you for being present in person and on Zoom, and remember, service above self. Have a great Rotary Week, everybody.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day.